Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly November 24th to the 30th reading for the sign of Virgo. Alright, my lovely Virgos, you're up next. And we're going to go ahead and pull out your 3 romance angel messages for the week, along with your 3 animal spirits for the week that you may or may not be resonating with. And then we're going to get right into your spreads with the traditional Rider-Waite deck. All right, guys. So, Virgo, ancient sign. From my understanding, it is the original, sort of the oldest constellation. And so let's go ahead and get right into it. If this resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you'd like to get a private reading, you can go to that link at the top of your screen. Attraction, past life relationship, so you've known this person before, and we have express your love. All right, Virgo. Well, so far, I'm going to say we are halfway through the zodiac signs nearly, and we have had some really, really beautiful romance angel messages coming in. A lot of us are calling in our lovers. A lot of us are reconciling after this Mercury, this Mercury retrograde period. People are beginning to reconcile. Let's go ahead and get into your animal spirits. Now, your animal spirits are going to be indicative of individuals you may be dealing with this week, energies that are becoming available to you, paths or stages in your life that you are beginning. And again, you may or may not resonate with these, and that's fine. Just take whatever applies to your situation and disregard the rest. All right, guys? All right, my lovely Virgos. The cards are a little bit jumpy tonight. Energies have been riding very high lately as we come into December period. And of course, your December reading is up already. So you can check that out if you'd like. That's going to be only on the area of love in your life. So let's go into it. Straight out, we have the cheetah. Strong fire energy. We have the hyena for the 3rd time now. The hyena has shown up, a rare creature to show up for my readings, but yet it's shown up 3 times now for this week. Interesting. And the golden egg associated with the heart chakra. Right? The 4th chakra is the heart chakra. And of course, this is associated with the alchemical symbol for ether or spirit. In alchemy, we talk about 5 elementals rather than 4. We have earth, air, fire, water, and ether or spirit. All right, the cheetah is a strong masculine energy. It is associated with fire, and it is associated with achievement, forward momentum. The cheetah almost seems to resonate the energy of the sun from within outward. Oftentimes, the cheetah can leave people awe-inspired because of their great feats of achievement and because of their single-mindedness and their purpose. The cheetah is one of these creatures that when you see somebody resonating with this energy, they make you want to do more with your life, because you see this drive that they have in them, and they simply won't stop until they achieve their ambition, right? This is a sense of purpose in life, having a sense of purpose and really sort of putting your all into it, right? Putting all of your fire and your spirit into it. Very strong energy, very masculine, very go-getter, I want to say masculine energy in the sense that the feminine is receptive, but it's the masculine that goes out into the world. And so the cheetah is very, very strong in that way. Some of you are this week resonating with cheetah energy because you are achieving something huge, and it's coming in for you. Oh, I have arrived is coming in, and people are looking at you from the outside with absolute awe. Now, the hyena is the jokester, the crowd pleaser, the humorist, the sarcastic individual, but oftentimes this person uses their humor to really hide disappointment, sadness, and resentment for unachieved goals, right? This is the person who hides the fact that they really feel like a bit of a loser, or they feel like they haven't really achieved something in their lives, yet they're not really willing to take responsibility for that. Oftentimes they can also hide resentment with sarcasm. So you may be dealing with somebody who's being really kind of like offhanded this week. They may be joking around. Some of their sarcasm might be very biting. You might be, oh shit, where's that coming from? A lot of that is associated with a sense of resentment, a sense of unfulfillment, and really this is a calling for whoever is resonating with this energy to begin to let go, right? Let go of this so that you can really get over these feelings and begin to sort of stop hiding behind your smiles, and your jokes. Now, the golden egg is associated with the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And of course, the golden egg reminds us that in order to open up the heart chakra, we need to have warmth, right? We need to have warmth around us, and that's why the color is golden, of course. And this talks about just being sort of in an environment where you are allowed to flourish, in a safe environment or in a safe relationship or what have you, that makes you feel sort of comfortable enough to allow your heart to open, that makes you feel warm and secure and loved enough that you can show who you are without any fear of vulnerability or fear of being hurt. Right? This is talking about expressing your love, certainly. And of course, having the golden egg come out on top of that romance angel message is absolutely appropriate. All right, guys, let's get into it. Now, again, you may be resonating with some of this or none of it, and that's fine. Just take what applies to you. We're going to go ahead and pull out anywhere from 4 to 6, perhaps 3-card spreads, looking at possible events that are happening in your life this week. And again, you may only resonate with part of these. You may resonate with only one of the forecasts or even only a part of one of the forecasts. But whatever the case may be, take what applies to you. Now, if it doesn't apply to you, if it doesn't make sense to you, then perhaps that forecast is not for you, okay? So let's get into your spreads for the week, my lovely Virgo. Straight out the gate, we have Page of Cups, 2 of Swords. It's been a while since we've seen that one. And the Wheel of Fortune, all right? Some of you, Virgo, this week are coming into the week being approached or wanting... I'm going to say some of you are coming into this week wanting to express your love to someone, wanting to reach out to someone and express how you feel. To open up your heart chakra to them, even just for a little bit with this Page of Cups. This talks about a little token of love or appreciation. Page of Cups talks about overcoming the first steps to love, which is jealousy and pride, these lower sort of resonating emotions, overcoming these things, which is a fear really of rejection, right? Overcoming that to say, hey, listen, I want to make a gesture, but you're being met with a 2 of Swords. And this is quite interesting. I'm going to say, for some of you, it's up in the air how this person is going to accept your cup of love, okay? They may be in 2 minds about it. They may be resonating with hyena energy in a sense that they may have a little bit of resentment or an old hurt or slight that they perceive has come perhaps from you or maybe from a previous lover. But whatever the case may be, this person is resonating with this feeling of having to make a choice or having to make a decision. It could very well be that they're already involved with somebody else and your cup of love is putting them in this sort of kind of quandary. They don't know which way to go. Oftentimes, 2 of Swords talks about balance is needed when you can't make a decision, right? Going within and finding a third way rather than choosing one of the 2 swords when you can't live without either of them. It may not be 100% sure that they're going to take your cup of love or that they even feel as though they can without giving something else up. It's very difficult to say what they're trying to decide between, because of course, I'm not a clairvoyant or a psychic, right? I'm an intuitive reader. I only know that the person you're handing your cup of love to is going to be very indecisive about how they react to that. However, you end the week with a Wheel of Fortune. It's quite interesting because it could be certainly that events begin to come in that are going to play the situation out in a certain way, right? Wheel of Fortune talks about opportunities coming in. You know, the wheel is turning, and opportunities are coming in for blessings in all areas, right? It could very well be that along with this token of love that you give this individual, other things begin to happen this week, sort of almost fated, you know, almost lucky. It's like, oh, that was lucky this happened, or that was lucky that happened. And it's really going to inform this situation. I think it's going to inform the situation much more from your point of view, Virgo, in the sense that you may be wasting your time to a certain degree, or not wasting, but really pouring some of this energy into making a connection with someone who is just never going to pick you, or is just never really going to be decisive. This could be somebody who's constantly going between you and another connection. But something happens this week for you that really shows you how to move forward. Could even be that an opportunity comes up this week for you to move on from this, right? To either move on from this, or something occurs this week that's going to help you cement this relationship a bit more. Some kind of event, some kind of fortuitous event may happen that's going to open up the way to this person, in a sense that it's going to make it easier for them to either choose you or not choose you, right? And then you're going to know your answer. Can also be that events happen this week for you, Virgo, that are really kind of like, you may have been concentrating on this individual for a little time, trying to get this connection, and then boom, all of a sudden something comes in this week and you realize that you have another possibility for love. There's another attraction that comes in, or another love connection that comes in for you, and it's almost as if, wow, I've been concentrating on this person who's really been like left me hanging for quite a while. They won't give me a decisive decision, and just while they're, you know, it's like a case of this, you know, he who hesitates, right? You're dealing with somebody who's hesitating, and this hesitation is giving life and fate and destiny a chance to bring something else into your life. And you may find yourself at the end of the week not even at all interested in them anymore. It feels very much like by the time they choose you, something else has happened. Somebody else has come into your life and swept you up and taking you away from this whole decision-making process altogether. Remember, Page of Cups is just a token of love. It's just an expression of love, initial love, beginning love. And again, I'm going to say that it's not that deep yet that somebody else can't sweep you off your feet. And I think that that is exactly what happens. And this person most likely will be someone who comes back into you later on after you've moved on to a more sort of like decisive connection, a more sure connection with somebody who really allows you to express your love the right way and receives it the right way. And then this person may indeed try to come back later on. Six of Swords. Nine of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Haven't seen that Nine of Pentacles in a while. Six of Swords talks about a journey to harmony. Six is the number for harmony, or journeys towards harmony. But with Six of Swords, some of you will be moving. Literally, physically, you'll be moving, or you'll at least be making decisions to move away from a certain dynamic that has been really kind of upsetting. Remember, before the Six was the Five. Five of Swords is a battle, a power struggle that you have with somebody, and that oftentimes you give up on because you realize it just isn't worth it. You're never going to win. They're not playing fairly. And so what comes next is the Six of Swords. You decide to leave all of that behind and move forward towards connections and an environment where you're not constantly having that power struggle, where things are harmonious, right? This is the leaving all of that bullshit behind, right? And this is what you come into the week with. You're met with a Nine of Pentacles. And I'm going to say for some of you, you come across an individual who is extremely successful, very sort of a beautiful, this is Taurian energy now, a very beautiful person, somebody who's extremely ambitious, who has a track record for success and achievement. They're very good at what they do. This is not hollow achievements. These are achievements because this person has worked very, very hard for them. Their abundance has begun to come in, so they have a nice financial status, but they are on their own. It's almost as if you see this person from a distance and you're like, wow, you know, he's really cute, or she's really cute, or there's something about them, and you're just really impressed. You know, you're impressed with their level of success. You're impressed with how they carry themselves. You're impressed with everything about them, but you also see that they're alone, and something about them really intrigues you. By the end of the week, you come out with a Seven of Pentacles, and it's almost like meeting this person and seeing this person at this level in their life is making you reevaluate your own sort of achievements and sort of making you think, hey, you know, it's like this feeling like you see somebody and you want them, or you're intrigued by them, you want to get to know them, but they're resonating, their financial abundance and status and achievements are kind of at that level where it makes you feel kind of like, well, hang on a second, if I want to have a chance of getting next to them, I'm going to have to step my game up. Right? I'm going to have to step my game up because their game is so high, but they're so interesting and I want to get in touch with them that let me, you know, what have I done with my life? Perhaps I need to, you know, reevaluate the fruits of my labor, because is what I'm working towards, is it bringing in the right abundance? Is it bringing in the right financial status for me to even be able to feel comfortable going after someone at this level? Now, I'm not saying that they're better than you or anything like that, Virgo. You know, of course not. Of course not. And of course, success doesn't make anybody better than you. But Nine of Pentacles isn't just financial success. It's a mentality, right? It's the mentality that turns you on. This person has a mentality for wanting to learn things, wanting to be a master at things, wanting to be good at things, taking the hard road and working methodically towards that achievement. It's that mentality that has brought in their abundance that turns you on, and you really feel like, you know, you want to take on a little bit of that. Like I said, you want to step your game up because you know that you have everything that it takes to perhaps get next to this person and get to know this person. This is very interesting, and this is going to certainly be a high level of attraction because, of course, Virgo, you are an earth sign, and this Nine of Pentacles individual is going to be working, you know, they're going to be very much a master of the earth, you know, the earth world, as it were, or the earth plane, as it were. And so in a lot of ways, you guys are going to be highly compatible. And the things that they do and the way that they act is going to really speak to who you are. This is a really great connection or a great opportunity to meet somebody who makes you a better person. And I'm sure in turn you have an opportunity to make them a better person in whatever area they need to resonate up. King of Wands. Eight of Swords, Ace of Wands. Okay, well, King of Wands, you come in this week very much on top of your game. You've taken up, perhaps, if you haven't been in this position before, you're taking up a position of authority and leadership in a particular area in your life. This could be at work. This could be in your social group. Anything that's really important and close to your heart. Wands is fire, and so wands oftentimes can indicate a relationship, or it can indicate a calling, right? In any case, you come in this week with this King of Wands attitude in a sense that you are looking to your future, right? You are firmly at the helm of your ship in terms of going down a path to your personal objectives and goals. The King of Wands, of course, is very individual, very eccentric, very unique. You know, they don't follow the beat of anybody else's drummer but their own, but they are a master of achievement, right? In a lot of ways, right? However, you're met with an Eight of Swords, and there's a real sort of toxic energy coming into you. Eight of Swords is my gaslighter card. This is the person who plays the victim. This is the person who does nutty shit. They make you crazy and then blame you for it. They're very difficult to talk to. They won't listen to anyone else. Nobody's opinion matters but their own. They often alienate themselves and restrict themselves by their closed-minded way of thinking and behaving. They're very unwilling to take responsibility for anything that happens in their lives, which is often negative things because as a result of their behavior. And this energy is just generally extremely toxic. You know, you can see how the water, you know, when we see our, look at the water, it's just like these puddles, you know, puddles. That can show you how deep they are. They aren't very deep at all. They really don't have much control over their emotions or understanding. And in general, this is just an extremely toxic energy. Now, this is what you're met with. And it's quite interesting because you end the week out with an Ace of Wands. I'm going to say for some of you, this sort of toxic energy that you come across, I almost feel like this may be for somebody who is a healer, or somebody who is in the field of healthcare or healing people or working with people who may be suffering with this kind of toxic energy, a counselor. But whatever the case may be, you come across this sort of energy this week, but you end with Ace of Wands in the sense that you have a new inspiration that comes in. You have a new sort of desire and ambition to work on something that's very important to you. This may be the beginning of a new project, right? And a lot of it is as a result of coming across this person. This person may not be a lover, or they may not be anyone necessarily close to you, but something about this individual and the way they behave is making you want to sort of help, right? It's giving you sort of this idea for a way to move forward, in a sense, to help individuals like this. And this is why this is a very specific reading, I think, for some of you out there who may be starting your own counseling project, or your own rehabilitation project, or a relationship coach. You may be somebody who's a relationship coach, or you may be somebody who's a love coach or a life coach, something like that, because you are resonating with really strong, confident energy. And this meeting with this really kind of this toxic person, but more than anything, I think you see that they're hurting, and their toxicity really can't touch you because you're the King of Wands. King of Wands can't be touched by an Eight of Swords, all right? And so in this way, it's not somebody who really impacts you personally, but it's somebody who impacts you in a sense that you are wanting to help them in some kind of way, or help people like them. And you come out of this week with this really great inspiration for something or a vehicle that would serve that purpose. Four of Swords, the Magician, and Five of Swords. This is going to be the last spread for you, Virgo. You come into this week with a Four of Swords, and that's a feeling of stability and really being grateful for everything that you've achieved up until now. And in return for, to answer that gratitude, right? Because you are grateful to sort of be where you're at now for everything, sort of the stability that you've accomplished now. You're being very mindful about the next steps you're taking. You're not willing to spit life in the face and say, hey, you know, I've achieved this, but I'm just going to go ahead and be reckless, right? Four of Swords talks about understanding gratitude and understanding for not the need for you not to be reckless or to be hasty with the next step you make because you've already achieved a certain amount, right? Gratitude is shown in the way you take care of the things that you've achieved. And one of the ways of taking care of them is to ensure that the next steps that you take and the things that you say, the moves that you make are all sort of for your betterment and progress, right? And not to sort of just like take advantage of the blessings that have come in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Four of Swords definitely talks about being extremely strategic. And choosing your words very carefully, choosing your moves very carefully, so that everything that you're doing is really towards a certain objective of progress. You're met with the Magician. Now, This magician energy comes in this week, and I'm going to say for some of you, you come into this week with this feeling of wanting to be very careful, very strategic. But interestingly enough, this magician energy comes in. The magician talks about things happening very easy. You know, things happening very easily, or you accomplishing things very easily. You use all of the skills that you already have to move forward. This is very cheetah energy in a lot of ways, that your level of achievement from the outside looking in makes you look like a magician, because other people are like, well, how can they do these things? But for you, it comes very easy. It comes very naturally, right? And so it's interesting that although you come into the week with this feeling of wanting to be very careful, wanting to be very intentional about the next steps that you take towards a goal, things do seem to be happening very easily for you, and somebody sees it, and you round the week off with a 5 of Swords in a sense that somebody doesn't like it. You know, there's a battle. 5 is a power struggle, and somebody is trying to engage you in a really kind of petty battle. Right? They're trying to bring you off of your 4 of Swords square, really. And I think a lot of this can be jealousy because, you know, they want to get you to fuck up. You know what I mean? And 5 of Swords can very much be sort of like people who gossip and lie, you know, talk about you behind your back. They're willing to win at all costs, and they're willing to play dirty. And this is certainly going to be a dynamic with somebody who sees how highly you're resonating, certainly with this cheetah energy, and they're going to be very resentful of it. They may even resonate with hyena energy in the sense that they may be somebody you know, but somebody who is just resentful of the way you're able to go through life. The fact that things are happening for you in such an easy way, seemingly. Of course, it isn't easy, you know, Virgo. These things aren't easy, but to the outside world, you make it look easy. And oftentimes when we resonate with a skill or a quality that makes it look so easy to us, but something that is so hard for the rest of the world, jealousy is not far behind. And people who feel jealous of that or envious of that quality are going to do whatever they can to sort of bring you down, even if it means bringing you down to a petty level, right? So they can say to the world, see how petty, you know, Virgo is, you know, they're not really, you know what I mean? They want to almost take your reputation away from you, or almost sort of undermine your achievements. Take great care with this scenario here. I'm going to say this is somebody who's resonating with hyena energy, because they may be laughing in your face, or they may be acting as though everything is fine. They may be using a little sarcasm. You know, you've achieved something. For an example could be you're talking to them, or you're talking in a group, and it comes out that you've achieved something this week, or you've accomplished something this week, and they're going to come out and say something smart about it. Oh, well, you wouldn't have been able to do that without the help of your man, or you wouldn't have been, you know what I mean? Some dumb shit that they know nothing about. They're just talking out the side of their neck, but they're doing it in a way to sort of take away from your achievement, Virgo, right? And again, this 4 of Swords, this strategy, I'm going to say, is showing up in this reading really in a way of sort of like to warn you, be ready for this shit. Okay? Be ready for this, because you're resonating with magician energy, and a lot of people can be jealous of that. So be ready for this. Think ahead as you come into this week, you know, in terms of who, you know what I mean? What do you think people, who that might be and what they're capable of? And just be ready so that this energy doesn't catch you off guard. All right, guys? And take you off of your square and your stability that you've already achieved here. All right, my lovely Virgos, this is your reading, the 24th to the 30th of November, the last week of November. And then we get into December, and I am so excited about December. I'm born in December myself. I'm a Sagittarius, and I'm very much looking forward to the blessings that are coming in on all levels. But for right now, Virgo, if you'd like to get a private reading, follow the address at the top of your screen. If you'd like to donate to my channel, please do so. I appreciate all the donations. It helps me keep going. It helps me to keep providing these readings for you. This is what I do for a living. And so I appreciate all of the donations, and all of you have already booked readings with me. Thank you so, so much. But Virgo, for right now, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.